Welcome to USA History. The American Revolution was a war for freedom, but it was also a war for survival in more ways than one. While soldiers clashed on battlefields across the colonies, another invisible enemy was spreading smallpox, one of the most feared diseases in the world. By the time the revolution began in 1775, smallpox had already killed millions globally. The virus caused high fevers, painful sores, and often death. Survivors were left scarred for life. In Europe, where smallpox was common, many people had developed immunity, but in the American colonies, it was a different story. The population was younger, healthier, and largely unexposed, which meant they were dangerously vulnerable. When the war broke out, smallpox quickly became a silent weapon. The first major outbreak hit the Continental Army during the invasion of Canada in 1775-1776. As Washington's troops marched toward Quebec, smallpox spread through their ranks. Men were too weak to fight, supply lines collapsed, and morale plummeted. The campaign ended in disaster, not because of British firepower, but because of disease. Washington saw the threat clearly. He had survived smallpox himself as a teenager and understood its danger. So, in early 1777, he took a radical step. He ordered that all Continental soldiers undergo inoculation, an early form of vaccination. This was an incredibly bold move for its time. Inoculation involved deliberately infecting a person with a mild form of smallpox, hoping they would survive and gain immunity. It was risky, controversial, and technically illegal in some colonies. But Washington believed it was the only way to save his army. The decision changed everything. While smallpox continued to devastate civilian populations, the Continental Army slowly became one of the healthiest fighting forces in the colonies. British troops and loyalists still carried the disease, but Washington's men were now largely immune. Historians estimate that smallpox killed more people during the Revolutionary period than combat itself. It ravaged cities like Boston and New York, tore through Native American tribes, and spread among enslaved Africans who had fled to British lines. The epidemic was so severe that it influenced military strategy, forcing armies to retreat, delay battles, or avoid entire regions. In this way, disease became an unseen general shaping the course of history as much as any commander. Washington's foresight saved thousands of lives and likely saved the revolution itself. Had he not acted, smallpox could have wiped out his army before the war was even halfway through. By the war's end, the colonies had not only gained independence, but also learned one of their first great public health lessons, that victory sometimes depends not just on courage, but on science, strategy, and prevention. The fight against smallpox during the American Revolution reminds us that history's greatest battles aren't always fought with weapons. Sometimes they're fought with knowledge and the courage to use it. And if you enjoyed learning about these forgotten heroes, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories from U.S. history.